Hey everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Craft Parenting Podcast. The podcast about two Cincinnati craft beer lovers with a parenting problem. My name is Joe Ludwig, and with me is my lovely wife and co-host, Caroline.
Hey!
And if you can't already tell, we are not at home. We are on the road.
On the road again.
So we are at West Side Brewing.
West Side. I can reach the button.
Yep. And this place is hopping.
So busy. Ooh, this is a very yummy beer.
Yeah, and we are going to talk about their St. Patrick's Day flight, which they advertised 2 days ago.
And they're already sold out of one of the beers.
And they're sold out of one of the beers, yeah. So we substituted something, which is different than what was originally intended for the flight. But
I ain't mad about it.
I'm not mad about it either. Because
I wanted to have this beer anyway.
Yeah, so this is... so that's where we're going to talk about that on this St. Patrick's Day Eve. By the time this comes out, it'll be St. Patrick's Day Eve.
Oh, snap.
And St. Patrick's, for those who don't know, he's famous for driving out the snakes out of Ireland.
Yep.
And those snakes went to North America and evolved into politicians.
Oh. So our first beer that we're drinking is their Blonde Stout. It is 7.5% ABV and delicious. And according to craftbeer.com, Golden Stout, oxymoron, or legit beer style. Because typically, stouts have a dark color that comes from their roasted malt. Because that's how you get a roasted character, aroma, and taste from your stout with your dark roasted malt.
So how do they make it blonde?
So Tim Sutman of Industrial Revolution had this to say about their Blonde Stout. Quote, "The Blonde Stout was a brewer's challenge, to brew a stout with the flavor but not the color of a stout. We brewed a stout with all the grains that make a thick, rich stout except the roasted grains that would give it its dark color. We then replaced the flavors of the roasted grains with cold brew coffee, cocoa nibs, and vanilla. The beer may not taste just like a stout, but it gives the impression of a much darker beer." So he's saying that it's a challenge. Get the flavor into a beer that does not look like it should have that flavor.
So how do they do it, does he say?
They add coffee and cocoa to get the roasty flavors, but not get the color.
But coffee is dark.
Depends on how much you roast it. Or how diluted it is. You probably don't need a ton of coffee to get the roastiness.
Oh, okay. This is very perplexing because it looks like almost like a Pilsner. Maybe a little darker than a Pilsner.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like in color, like a Pilsner, like a cream ale. Like something really light.
Yeah, so if I gave this to like my mom, who's like an avid Bud Light drinker.
Oh, that would be hilarious. Hey, here's your Bud Light. Takes a sip and almost dies.
Yeah. She's like hardcore, I need my Bud Light. Even if we go to downtown for her birthday to
Rock Bottom Brewery.
Rock Bottom Brewery. Yeah.
Rest in peace, I guess. I don't know. Rock Bottom was okay. We told her that going to Rock Bottom would be a terrible idea because it's not her kind of place. But she was so dead set on getting pictures with a giant Christmas tree downtown. That's all she had eyes on. And then we get there, and she orders a Bud Light. And they're like, we don't have Bud Light. We have a Kolsch, which is kind of close to Bud Light. Or we have Miller Lite in bottles. And she's like, oh, I guess I'll take the Miller Lite. Your dad is drinking a Kolsch for amber or something, at least. Because he normally goes for like a Yingling is the darkest beer he will drink. And so we can usually get him something to drink at a craft brewery. But your mom drinks the dustiest bottle of Miller Lite that I have ever seen. She helped them rotate their stock of Miller Lite that night.
Yeah, I'm sure that the shelf life was expired. So
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be interesting. She would probably, this would psych her out.
Yeah.
She would be like, what is this?
Well, and it's like, it's hilarious because like when you talk to people about Bock beer, they're like, well, it doesn't look that dark, but like I really don't like it. And they're like, or like, is it dark like a is it dark and heavy like a Guinness? And I'm like, there is no point in my world where I would consider Guinness to be a heavy beer. A dark beer, yes.
Dark in color.
It's dark in color. It's a little roasty, but it's definitely not a heavy beer.
Yeah, it drinks very clean. It's about the same ABV as a Bud Light.
Mm-hmm. Tastes real good when you mix it with apple cider.
Yeah, which that might be like once we finish and maybe take a break, we might do that. Half cider, half stout.
Oh, they do have cider on the menu right now, right?
Yep, they have 3.
They have a dry cider. Ooh, that would be perfect.
I have yep, apple pie and dry cider.
The dry cider would be good with that. So,
West Side, they are really doing St. Patty's Day hard, and that is Patty, P-A-D-D-Y, not Patty, P-A-T-T-Y.
Because St. Patrick is a dude, not a chick. And Patty is a woman's name. Paddy is the guy's name shortened.
Yes. So, you're still finishing that up.
I am, but I can finish it.
But to finish that thought.
And my 2-ounce sip of my 4-ounce pour.
That seems very passive aggressive towards a certain person. Or people.
Just saying. You don't need to drink 12 beers during a 1-hour podcast.
But to finish my thought, they are going really hard. They made 4 different beers specifically for St. Patty's Day because it is on a Friday this year. I feel like it's just going to go all weekend.
Oh, it will go all weekend. We are not going to be able to go anywhere that we normally go this weekend because all of the places are going to be packed. We did succeed mostly. We took the kids to 13 Below last night, which was a Saturday night. And we've been there before with the kids on a Friday night. And it was pretty light. Saturday night was packed.
There was a baby shower.
There was a baby shower going on. We got a table out of the kindness of the baby showers people's hearts because they're like, oh, yeah, we're not really using this table. You guys can have it. And then Elliot spilled half my beer on my foot.
And pants.
And floor.
And socks.
Yeah, my foot was pretty soaked. And then I was real sad. And I was like, I want to get another beer, but I also don't want you to spill my other beer. So I guess I'll just drink at home.
Yeah, so we have a babysitter.
We do have a babysitter. So we are now drinking a German Irish lager from West Side Brewing. Their description, it's 5.5% ABV. Their description, our tribute to Cincinnati's heritage of both Irish and German immigrants. This mashup takes the malt recipe of a classic Irish red ale, our German lager yeast, and a mix of both traditional German and Irish hops to create a deep amber lager with light caramel and toffee flavors and a dry, clean finish. I can't believe that I just finished this taster glass in 2 sips. That might have been a little more passive aggressive.
Just a lot. So they brewed 4 specific beers. That was the first one. And they've done that before. The German Irish lager. It's extremely popular.
Yeah, I mean, they usually, you'll see this out in the wild in packaging.
Yeah, they package it. They ran out this year, and they had to brew another batch.
Not super surprising.
So this is one of their. It's a very, very popular seasonal beer.
I want to take a step back for a second because I never read the description of their blonde stout because I forgot to pull it up.
Do it.
So their blonde stout is described as golden with a white head. Our blonde stout may appear pale, but packs flavors and aromas you'd find in a jet black beer. Coffee and chocolate lead the aroma thanks to aging the beer on cocoa nibs and espresso beans from Deeper Roots coffee. Coffee and chocolate flavors are rounded out by the smooth malt backbone, and it finishes medium-bodied. But yeah, so now we're drinking, that was the blonde stout, now we're drinking the German Irish lager, which we have both had before, and this still holds up to how I remember it being.
I really like it. It's very crisp, smooth. The flavors are just awesome. And I don't quite understand what makes it German and Irish.
It's that they use both German and Irish ingredients. So they're taking an Irish red amber ale, like an Irish red ale.
Like a Killian's.
Like Killian's.
Okay.
But they're brewing it with German lager yeast. So they're turning it into a lager. And then they're using both German and Irish hops when they brew it.
But yeah, that's probably one of my top 3 beers at West Side. And then Mark is going to be like, what are your top 3? Okay, here we go. German Irish, and no particular order. German Irish, Bach, and what do I get usually? Probably the Heffa.
You do get the Heffa a lot.
Or the Oktoberfest.
Did this just turn into a top 4?
This turned into a top 4. Because, I see the board in front of me, but this doesn't include, like, the seasonal stuff.
Yeah. And, like, my problem right now, specific to this tap board, is I want everything, but I know that I can't do that because, like, I want the peanut butter stout because that's delicious. I also want to take either the dry stout or the Gilligan stout. When we drink them, I'll figure that out. And mix it with the apple cider. And I want the blood orange common. Well, it's probably a little too cold out for the blood orange common. So maybe we'll skip the blood orange common today.
And when my sister was like, hey,
I also want the Rausch beer.
When are you guys coming back? And you'll be
Did we ever tell her the truth on that one, though?
And you're like, we won't be out too long. Well, it's fine.
It's fine. I fixed the baby gate. The kids, it's daylight savings time now, so the kids are all screwed up. I don't even know if they would nap, even if she wasn't there. So it is what it is.
They might nap. I mean, Lily was getting pretty tired, so I'm just checking my phone because
no messages from your sister. No messages from the ring. So she hasn't like run out of our house screaming yet, so it's fine.
What does that say? 7.5% for the blonde stout.
That is what the board says. And now Westside has these new tap boards. So it used to be chalk. But now they've taken the chalkboards and they have put stickers over them where the stickers are pretty similar to their can stickers. Like the can colors on their cans. That was a really weird way of wording that. So like because Westside typically does like a black bottom and then the top is a different color based on whatever beer it is. And the colors on the tap stickers now kind of mesh up with those colors on the cans.
Yeah.
And the common ale now has tiger stripes on it. Because Bengals.
Yeah, they theme their common ale as a lot of breweries these days do with in season and when appropriate they brand it as tiger stripes, not Bengals. There is a distinction. Hey everyone, Joe Ludwig here with the one and only Caroline.
Hey!
Before we get to the main topic of today's episode, we wanted to pause briefly and tell you about how you can support the show.
So if you enjoy listening to the podcast and reading our blog posts every week, then you now have the opportunity to support the show through Buy Me a Coffee. Here's what you need to know. It's super easy to do. You don't have to set up an account to contribute. You have options. Send us a one-time donation or sign up as a member to contribute on a monthly or yearly basis. Plus, you can unlock exclusive content.
To learn more about how you can support the Craft Parenting Podcast through Buy Me a Coffee, click the link in the show notes. And now, back to the show. So moving on to sample beer number 3.
So this is West Side Brewing's Dry Irish Stout. It is 4.3%. This description. Oh, Marco, Julia, have a field day with this one. Crisp but creamy beer with a hint of nut. I don't know why you would have a field day with that, but go have a field day with it.
Well, I have the full description.
This is my description now.
Brewed in honor of St. Patrick's Day, this classic dry Irish stout is jet black with a tan head. Light roast aromas and malt flavors give way to a dry finish, making for a smooth, quaffable brew that's lighter than it looks. Where did you get that description from?
Untapped. That was the description on Untapped.
Okay.
Oh, I scrolled down and I found the doc. I put stuff in it. So I had already found it.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional.
This isn't episode 93 or anything.
No.
It's like we are amateurs.
Yeah. It's not like we have video issues every time we go to do something, though. But that's because we don't do video. Lord help us when we do.
There is a reason why we don't do video. Because I did have video issues.
Yeah.
I had sound issues when I tried to record another video.
Mm-hmm.
I think I talked about this recently.
You did.
But I tried to record another video, apparently about cocaine bears.
Yeah. It was about Cocaine Bear.
No, there's a sequel, Cocaine Tiger.
Oh. Is this any relation to Tiger King?
Possibly. So I recorded a video and I hit play and it was all crinkly and crackly and I don't think I can salvage it. So if I want to do another video, I'd have to find the time to re-record it.
Yeah.
And just say what I said all over again.
The exact same way that you said it.
Which is very frustrating.
A little bit.
But we're getting there. I think I need to hook up the soundboard.
Probably.
To the computer.
That would probably help.
Which is, again, frustrating.
Yeah. This dry Irish stout is very delicious.
So, yeah, it's very comparable to a Guinness.
Yeah.
It's light in the ABV. It's very drinkable.
Yeah. Somebody's like dragging something across the floor or something. Okay.
I found the culprit. It's a toddler.
It is a toddler pushing chairs around. That tracks. That totally tracks. Because that's all that Lily and Elliot do now is move our chairs around the kitchen.
And fall out of chairs.
Yeah.
That is a thing that they do.
I think we've had 3 or 4 instances of falling out of chairs in the last 2 days.
Yeah. Wow, that is good.
It is.
It's very flavorful. It's like the description said, jet black. But it's very light in flavor. It has roastiness. Don't get me wrong.
Like I compare it to a Guinness.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. So, very drinkable.
Yeah, it's not super heavy. I'd say it's pretty sessionable. And what percent is this one? Because that might be kind of dangerous.
I think 4.3. Hold on. Let me find it.
4.7. Okay, that's not too bad.
4.7. So it's a little bit higher than a Guinness.
Yeah.
Is it not on the board? The dry
It is.
stout. Dry stout, 4.7.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're the one that can actually see the board from where you're sitting.
I know, but there's so much, like you said. I only see 3 IPAs. Oh, they have an Imperial Stout? What does that say at the top of the Imperial Stout?
Something about cherry. I feel like I need to be like the old people and zoom in and take a picture because it's hard to read. It's at the very top of their list, and it's small font.
11.2%.
Oh man.
Okay, so we are moving on to Gilligan's. Like Gilligan? Gilligan's?
Gilligan.
Gilligan.
Like Gilligan's Island.
Gilligan's Extra Stout. So this is 9% ABV, 20 IBU.
And the description is, this bold foreign-style extra stout is loaded with aromas of roast, coffee, and chocolate. Traditionally, a beer brewed to be bigger in order to stand up to being shipped all over the world, the bold malt notes are paired with a firm hop bitterness to help it remain balanced.
I can definitely taste the chocolate flavor on the back end.
Yeah.
A little bit of dryness.
It starts off real smooth, and then you can kind of pick up on the roasty and the chocolatey, and
It's not overpowering at all.
no, and it does not taste like a high ABV beer either.
It tastes very similar to the dry stout.
It does.
Like it
but
tastes clean. Yeah, that is very dangerous.
a little bit. Very tasty, but a little bit dangerous. But oh so delicious.
It doesn't taste big at all. Like
No.
the description says like big. Bold. It doesn't taste bold. Extra stout. It's not over. The flavors are not overpowering. Wow.
I would like more of this.
Yeah, and in previous years, has West Side done this many Irish-themed beers? Or just the Gill?
I think it's mostly been the Gill. But I think now they've got a little bit more room to play around because they can just use their... they already have a bunch of these recipes built up. So now they can just start playing around some new ones and then bring back the old ones.
Yeah, I am all for this. West Side went all out during Oktoberfest. They did those Oktoberfest beers.
They did.
Like the traditional German styles.
Mm-hmm.
I can't exactly... But
and I think we missed one of those, too.
We did. We weren't quick enough.
Yeah.
There's a toddler.
That's not a toddler. That is a small child.
There's a small child attacking someone with a chair.
Baby Fight Club.
Baby Fight Club. We don't talk about Fight Club.
Oh, crap. I said too much.
I haven't seen that movie, but even I know that.
I've seen the end of that movie, which ruins the rest of the movie.
Yeah. I think you told me the ending.
I think I did too. So I was like, if it's ruined for me, it's ruined for you too. Because love.
So that does it for the flight board. We're gonna hang out and do some more though. We're gonna take a break and get some more beer.
And we're back. And I am currently drinking the dry stout mixed with the dry cider because science. Oh, that's good. It also tastes like terrible decisions in college.
So what is this called? A snake bite?
Snake bite, a bruised apple. There's a few different names for it. You want to try? It just makes it real sweet.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. So that is a favorite of ours. Like when we were back in college.
Hence it tastes like terrible decisions in college.
Well, we had a house back then. So it was after college.
I want to say I ordered these in college too, though. But a lot of it was when we had a house. So yeah, we were out of college.
So if you are going out to Cakes and Eggs / St. Patrick's Day Eve or evening, and you're tired again, as you're tired of stouts, do half and half the cider. West Side has cider. They have tons of stouts.
Yeah, when I told I ordered a flight board because I was like, I can't make up my mind on what I want. And I was like, so I want a flight with this stuff in it and a pint glass so I can mix the dry cider and the dry stout. And she's like, ooh, that sounds yummy.
Yeah.
So.
And we used to do that, like on St. Patrick's Day.
But even like the bartenders there would look at me weird. I don't remember where I started drinking at. Some pub that we went to. It might have been Molly's in Pleasant Ridge.
Mm-hmm.
They had it like on as like an option, like on their menu. And then I started ordering it other places and they're like, what? I'm like, but it's delicious.
Yeah. That was back then. That was the apple cider was all the rage.
Yes, that was when like
Angry Orchard was the thing.
Angry Orchard and Strongbow and Harp.
Woodchuck,
yeah. They were very prevalent. Lots of places.
I don't think I've ever seen Woodchuck on draft, though.
No, usually it was in bottles. But Harp and Strongbow would be on draft.
Yeah. But I think you need special equipment for that, right?
Yeah,
kind of like the Guinness.
It's the European tap.
So I have the mug, because we are mug club members. And I feel really bad because this is the first time that we've been to West Side Brewing.
This calendar year.
Where I have had the chance to drink. I may have been here before because I was talking to one of the
I feel like we sent you here to pick up to-go beers.
Yeah, I think I've been here before, but not to drink.
Yeah.
And I do remember coming here in December or January, I think it was, late January. The Christmas tree was up.
Mm-hmm.
And it was during that Christmas break or whatever.
Yeah.
No, it would have been in December. I do remember coming here working on podcasting stuff. Christmas tree was up. I think it was between the week of Christmas and New Year's.
That would track.
Because I don't think the mugs were ready. Otherwise, I would have been drinking from the mug because I went to Nations for lunch by myself, and then I came here.
Yeah.
But the mug, it's more straightforward this year. It's just tall versus...
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm making random... So this is random acts of crochet kindness.
I don't know what I'm doing that.
I made friends. I think you were talking about your mug, but now I don't remember.
Well, the mug is very straightforward. It's tall. It's
But this usually they glaze them all the same color.
Yes.
This year they're glazed different colors.
Yes.
And we are blue,
which
is perfect for us.
Yep, it matches my eyes.
It really does.
But in previous years, they had mugs that were like fatter on the bottom.
Yeah.
Different shapes.
Yeah, usually they change up the shape. They'll change up the color.
It's pottery.
Yeah, it's always pottery. I don't remember who does it. It might be Stanford.
On the bottom, maybe?
No. They told us, and now I don't remember who it was because it was so long ago.
Was it Miami something? Pottery?
Usually that the word after Miami is Valley. It's possible.
I don't know, but shout out to West Side and the Mug Club.
As I was getting your mug off the bar, someone asked how they can get one of those mugs.
Well.
And the bartender was like, sorry, we're sold out for this year. Maybe you can get it next year.
September. I think.
Yeah, we, like, as soon as they send out the link, I am like, well, no, so this year what they actually did was say, because they apparently had issues with the online ordering the year before, and people got a little annoyed by it. And, like, I would be annoyed, too, if we lost our mug, because we have been the same mug number from the beginning, and our mug number is less than 50. I am going to hold on to this number until I die. I am very proud that our mug number is less than 50. And when I signed you up for the mug club for Christmas that year, you were like, but we're going to, and I'm like, no, we are getting the mug. Like, you get a mug club membership for Christmas. Like, this is what, and we got in so early because it was like the second day they were doing signups, and it was still like a relatively new thing in the area to do mug clubs. And I was like, no, we're doing it. And so from what I remember being told by our friend Candy was that because her partner is one of the, like, maybe not founding members, like, was part of the Kickstarter that helped start up West Side. And they're here fairly frequently. Right before mugs went for sale, like, they were talking to one of the people that's, like, deep in West Side about the mug club, and they're like, oh, do you want to be a part of mug club members? And they're like, yeah, oh yeah, that's fine. Like, yes, we want to do that. Like, we'll pay, we'll be a member. And like, oh, sweet. Okay, so what mug do you want? You can't pick 1 through 12 because that's all taken by people at West Side. And he's like, oh, sweet, I'll take 13 then. He's like, I want the lowest number that I could get. And we're pretty gosh darn close to that. And at that point, we did not have connections in the beer community. But now we do, and we love them all dearly. And I'm making friends in the crochet community.
Yeah. So someone stopped us. I don't know how much I'm going to cut in or out, but she
makes really cute stuff.
She just stopped us while we were in the middle of talking.
Because I'm in the middle of crocheting now.
Yeah, you're crocheting.
Because I can pause a little bit, because it's not like, let's get through this flight and actually, like, deep talk about all these beers. So I'm doing something with my hands.
Yeah, so she stopped you. You kind of ignored me.
I mean, I love you.
She stopped you, and
we talked about crochet for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, just like full-on conversation.
And how she's excited that young people are still crocheting.
Yeah, I have no idea who she is. She just was excited about crocheting.
Though I did see a Instagram reel recently about what is your favorite grandmother hobby, and the things included were crocheting, making your own, like, brewing your own loose leaf tea, reading books, and, like, taking care of plants. And I was like, I got 3 out of 4 of those as my young person, old people hobbies.
Brewing your own? Like growing?
Like, no. Like, what I do loose leaf tea. I don't do tea bags as much. So it's like, yes, I have old lady hobbies.
Well, I'm sorry. How is that a grandmother hobby?
I don't remember exactly what was in the reel. I don't know.
Well, don't bring it up because no one's going to see it.
Yeah.
But loose leaf tea it's just like craft beer.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I have so much tea in our house, but I love all of it, and like I keep getting more because I want more, but I haven't finished the stuff that I currently have.
We've been good lately.
We have been good lately. And I've been trying to, like, at least once a week. Because usually at least one day on the weekend will be a day where I will just do tea. Like, we won't stop and get coffee or anything. And I've been trying to be good about 1 or 2 days a week brewing tea in the morning so I don't stop on my way into work. Some days are better than others for actually following through with that. It just kind of depends. Because part of it, too, is whether or not I remember.
Yeah, we need to get better about that.
Yeah.
I really like the mug. So
The mug this year is adorable. And they've got 4 different colors. We have the darker blue. And then there's like a greeny kind of blue.
Yeah.
And a tan.
And a green?
Like a green, tan, crackly kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like a darker tan that's kind of green is what I would call it. And yeah,
okay.
I mean, get a Mug Club membership if you can. They've got like 350 mugs now. I want to say when the first year they had like 150. And now they just keep trying to find new space where they can put all these mugs.
Yeah, they have a new shelf.
Yeah, so they have a corner of the bar that was hard to serve people off of that is now Mug Club storage. Oh.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't there before.
And there used to just be 1 layer of mugs in the rafters. Now there's 2 layers of mugs in the rafters. But I will always renew our Mug Club membership. We can live in California. I mean, we're not going to move to California, but we could live in California. And I would still renew our Mug Club membership for here.
Yeah?
Because West Side, West Side.
Yes, West Side, West Side. There you go. I was people watching earlier while you were getting the beer. And there was a dad holding a pint glass and a toddler, probably Elliot's age, walking down the stairs, because there are 3 stairs, and running over towards our table. And he's like, come on. I think he's in the party back there, the private party.
There's 3 parties back there, at least one of which has ended.
Okay, so he was going back there, but he just had this fresh new beer, and the toddler agrees, and then they get to the steps. He's at the top of the steps. It's only 3 steps, and then the toddler turns around, runs towards our table, and he's like, oh, come on. So he runs after him, and then the toddler doesn't want to go.
Oh, no, they never do.
So Dad, I'm assuming Dad, has to pick up toddler with the beer. Mind you, he has a pint of beer.
Yeah.
Picks him up. The toddler's like squirming and dead.
As toddlers do.
As they do, yeah. Dead waiting. He doesn't spill a single drop.
That is some pro-level daddy right there.
If there was an Olympic sport for dads, that would be a game.
Oh, it totally would be.
A sport. Yep. Picking up a toddler, an unwilling toddler, with a beer in your hand.
That is mostly full.
It was all the way full. It was fresh.
Oh, my goodness.
Like he just got it from the bar. And then the toddler wandered down here. And he was following the toddler. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, our party's up here, so we need to make our way up there. Toddler didn't want to go.
They really never do. They know when you are trying to contain them.
And like I said, he never spilled a drop.
Okay, so let's expound on this. Let us figure out what are drinking games, because at this point, these are going to be drinking games, for the Parenting Beer Olympics. So we've got navigating a brewery with the full beer and a toddler who does not want to listen to you.
Yeah. So you have to pick up the toddler and move the toddler.
Yeah. We have making sure your beer stays safe at the table with a toddler who is very hyperactive, which I failed at yesterday.
You did fail, yeah.
Or that was Friday. I failed. No, that was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday.
This is airing on Thursday, so
okay.
It doesn't matter.
As of this recording yesterday. So navigating, keeping your beer safe while eating with the toddler who is.
So you're like in a
crazy.
booth area with no high chairs.
No high chairs. Yeah. No, there is 0 high chairs.
Although they had high chairs available, but it wouldn't have helped.
It would not have helped. No.
Because the table was lower than a high chair.
Well, and it was Elliot decided to open up the pencil case that we had used to store our snacks in, because pro parenting tip. stuff all of your snacks in a hard shell pencil case, and then shove that pencil case in your backpack, your diaper bag. Make sure your snacks don't get crushed, and then you can just hand the pencil case to your toddler and say, hey, what snacks do you want? You can pick. Works great. But he had decided to open up his pencil case rather aggressively. Well, snack case at this point, because it's not holding any pencils. It's only holding snacks.
Yeah.
While I was attempting to, like, get my food from Joe. And so I didn't look at my beer for 0.2 seconds, and in that 0.2 seconds, it all landed on my shoe.
It did.
And then the other one is chugging your beer because you decided to order another round, and 3/4 through your beer, your toddler is having a meltdown.
So a chugging contest.
Yes.
With a screaming toddler.
With a screaming toddler that you have to keep contained because the toddler does not want to stay contained. What else you got for this Beer Olympics parenting?
Parenting Beer Olympics.
Yeah.
Okay, so navigating a brewery, dining, and chugging.
Yes.
It seems to cover a lot of it.
To-go beers and toddler carrying. You have to get your to-go beers and your toddler out to the car without dropping anything.
So like a 6-pack.
Yeah, but you're getting at least 2 6-packs because that's what makes it challenging. 1 6-pack is easy. As an experienced parent. Mm-hmm. It has to be at least 2 to make it a challenge. Mm-hmm. Or like a growler in a 6-pack.
Okay. I feel like there's like some kind of like negotiation skill, like a game based on negotiation.
Yeah, like trying to get more time out of your kids hanging out at the brewery.
Well, I mean like food maybe. Something about like negotiating. Like you ordered food for you, right?
Oh, but you brought food for your kid.
Yeah, and the toddler wants your food, so you have to negotiate. It's not really a drinking game, but this is where I'm struggling because you said drinking.
I mean, it's more fun if drinking is involved. But
I mean, there's also like shopping, no nap Lily and shopping.
Well, now Lily better understands what shopping is. So anytime we go out, it's, oh, I want this, oh, I want that, oh, I want this. And it's, no, honey, like, we can't have all of the things. We can have a few of the things. We cannot have all of the things.
She understands no nap Lily, too.
She does.
Which I didn't realize that she would. Because, yeah, I guess she's more aware. She's a full human. She
is turning into a full, like, human who is aware of what she is feeling. And now part of that's because we're trying to explain to her what she is feeling so she can better understand it. But
she listens and understands.
When she wants to, yes. So I am now on my technically 5th drink of the night. Because the dry cider and the dry stout combined, that was just one new drink because it was the dry cider. I am drinking the West Side Peanut Butter Milk Stout, which is...
Are you putting all this in the doc?
I'm not, but I'll add it in. Which is 6.7% ABV. And their description is, our peanut butter milk stout features aromas of chocolate, coffee, peanut butter, and a light roast note. A dash of oats is also used in the brew to provide a full malt body. The nutty peanut butter flavor works with the sweetness from the lactose to help soften the roastiness, which comes through mostly on the finish. So I'm going to do something that is very timely.
Yeah.
This is like a tag-along. I would love this with a box of tag-alongs.
Your cookie dealership was available after church.
Did you get anything? No. Oh my goodness.
I did not get anything. There was a line. People
yeah, of course
leave.
There's a line.
People leave as soon as the priest says the mass has ended. Let us go.
Cookies.
And people leave to get the cookies. Because there's a limited supply. And can you explain this as a Girl Scout?
Yeah.
The what are they? The biscuit flavored
The shortbreads?
Yeah, the shortbreads.
They're trefoils.
The trefoils. Why are those a thing? Like, that's like all they had, like, as we were leaving.
Because that is a very traditional cookie. So Girl Scouts has 2 different bakers. And there's ABC bakers and there's Little Brownie bakers. And Girl Scouts require that these bakeries offer...
only throughout the entire...
Through the entire U.S., there are 2 different bakeries.
And one of them's in Kentucky, right?
Well, the Kentucky Council has a different baker than we have. At one point, we had ABC bakers in Great Rivers Council when Great Rivers Council was a thing. Now it's Girl Scouts of Western Ohio, and they have Little Brownie bakers.
Okay.
So there's Little Brownie bakers and ABC bakers.
So you switched bakers.
We did. And that switched all of the names of our cookies. But the recipes are the same or very similar for shortbread / trefoils.
Thin Mints.
Thin Mints, which are Thin Mints everywhere.
The peanut butter thing.
Trefoils or peanut butter patties. Do-si-dos or peanut butter sandwiches. And Samoas or... I don't remember what the other name for Samoas is. It's been so long. Oh my goodness. Caramel Delights. So you are required to offer trefoils, Samoas, do-si-dos, tag-alongs, and Thin Mints. Those are your 5 base cookies. You always have to have those. Trefoils or our shortbread cookie have always been around, and it's a very traditional cookie. You're pretty much always going to have them, but you have to have at least 8 different varieties of cookies, but you can have more.
Wow.
So they've got 3+ cookies to play along with.
There's like the lemon things.
That's how we get lemon ups or lemonades. Adventurefuls.
That's a good one.
Those are really, really good. Very dangerous. I need to talk to my dealer so I can get some more cookies because I haven't talked to her yet this year. And what's the other one?
There's the gluten-free...
So there's Toffee-tastic, which is a gluten-free wasteland, as described by at least one Girl Scout. Oh, s'mores. S'mores are so good.
Those are more expensive.
Yeah, so they've got 10 cookies for us this year. So s'mores and Toffee-tastic and Adventurefuls and Lemon Ups, they are Lemon Ups, you can find through your local cookie dealer. But there's a new cookie called a Raspberry Rally, which looks like a Thin Mint but is raspberry, that sold out in like 3 hours.
What?
In the entire United States.
Because raspberry and chocolate, that's like...
It was the new cookie this year. It was online only.
Online only?
If you find a Girl Scout troop selling these at a booth, that Girl Scout troop is going to lose all of their profits for cookie season.
Why?
The Girl Scout, because they're not allowed to sell them at booths.
Oh.
Because they're online only. So, like, I have stories of booths of Girl Scouts, because I'm in a lot of different Girl Scout groups because of my various involvements in Girl Scouts. And there's been a wide variety of ways that troops have reacted to this.
That's dumb, though.
The goal is to make it fair for everyone involved. So, but like if a troop goes and buys, so like what I know some troops did was they said, hey, I'm going to place an order as soon as these are available. You don't give me money right now, but I will place the order and then you give me like the $5 for the box of cookies. So like one person in the troop would order like 30 cookies or whatever the maximum amount they were allowed to order, to then say that like, okay, now my Uncle George doesn't have to go and buy a box of cookies online. So I will eat the shipping cost. And then he pays me for the cookies. That's mostly fine.
Online sales for Girl Scout cookies, that defeats the purpose.
So a lot of that started like at COVID.
Yeah, it defeats the purpose. The whole point is empowerment and entrepreneurship.
Now, it does make it nice if you want to get cookies from another baker, though. Because it makes it easier for me to order cookies from ABC Bakers, because I have a friend who has a kid in Kentucky, and then I can get them shipped to my house instead of having to meet up with her. There is less of that human interaction, though. But so there were some troops that what they would do is they'd be like, oh, yeah, because people would be like, oh, I want to get that new raspberry rally that I heard about. Because you heard about this cookie literally everywhere. Except for maybe you, because you live under a rock. But so what some troops would do is they would say, oh, yes, we have a box. Here is a sample cookie. So you can at least, like, try this cookie, but we're not going to sell it to you. Other troops did the whole, like, instead of, like, taking pre-orders for Raspberry Rally from, like, friends and family who wanted to buy it online, but they wanted to make sure we would actually get it versus, like, oh, I remembered at 5 p.m. that day, and now they're all sold out. What some troops did was they ordered as many as they could and then turned around to sell them at booths. Well, when council finds out about this, it's a major no-no. Because there's lots of rules for cookie booths. In order to have a cookie booth, you have to have 2 registered adults and 2 registered girls at a minimum. So if you run a cookie booth, like a Girl Scout sponsored cookie booth, with 1 adult and 1 girl, and you're not a Juliet, and you get found out, that's a big problem.
What's a Juliet?
A Juliet is a single Girl Scout. So it's a Girl Scout without a troop. It's basically like homeschool Girl Scouts. That's the best equivalent for it. So now my Girl Scout groups are filled with, hey, troop at this location at this time, you's about to get had by council because you're selling raspberry rallies. And
so
somebody reported it to council. Oh, you cannot do anything and keep it secret in Girl Scouts. Everybody knows what's going on. Everybody's in everybody's business. My favorite,
sounds like high school.
This is me telling on myself. So.
Oh, hey, doggy.
Back when I was in high school and we would go camping, we would set up the cabin because we were like, we don't want to tent camp anymore. Well, everybody else in the troop was like, we don't want to tent camp anymore because we tent camped all the time. We're going to camp in the lodge. I had tent camped like twice before. So I was super into tent camping because I joined the troop later. But I was fine with cabin camping. But basically what we would do is we would unpack the cabin, and then before we got to camp, we said, this is what we're doing for dinner, this is what we're doing for breakfast, this is what we're doing for lunch, this is what we're doing for dinner. We had all the meals and all the snacks planned out, and who was in charge of each different meal. Because 2 or 3 girls would be in charge of each meal for prepping it and cooking it. And then different 2 or 3 girls would be in charge of cleanup. Mm-hmm. And by that point, at meetings, it would be, oh, well, we know these 3 girls are going to do breakfast because they're going to be up early. These 3 girls are going to do dinner because there's no way they're going to be up in time for breakfast. And just kind of assign everybody off of, well, this is the same way we've done it for the last 5 camps. So we'd just unpack the cars, and then we would go explore the camp. And we would explore every corner of that camp that we could get to, regardless of whether or not we were supposed to get to it. So, I recall finding the Rangers, the Rangers barn one year, and finding that they had, that summer, they had replaced all of the fridges in camp. And so he just had a bunch of fridges hanging out in the field. And we're like, hey, this isn't safe because these fridges still have doors on it. So, we wrote a letter to council and got all that mess cleaned up. Because we're like, this isn't safe for girls to be around, even though it's a mile from where most girls hang out. Because we just started wandering and said, hey, where does this road take us? Let's keep going.
Yeah.
So we would do stuff like that. We would explore the low ropes course. We wouldn't do the low ropes course, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, because we didn't have anybody with us to do the low ropes course. I'm an adult now. We're past the statute of limitations on this. And then when I had a troop, we took the girls on a hike, and they were all in elementary school. So it was just a mild walk through the woods, nothing too intense. And we got back to as we were heading back to the cabin, me and my friend looked at the co-leader and another adult that we had with us and said, hey, we're going to look for firewood because we're going to have a fire in an hour or two. Why don't you guys take the rest of the girls to the cabin while we go look for firewood? So we looked for firewood, and then we came back to the cabin, and one of my other adults, who was my troop leader when I was a kid, looked at us and said, "Oh, I'm glad you guys found some firewood. I didn't think there was firewood at the bottom of the pool because it was the off season, and we just wanted to see if we could get in. The pool was drained." We did get in. So that was our Girl Scout tangent.
That was a Girl Scout, yeah. So I think the whole point was that
I would eat a whole box of tag-alongs with this. I mean, I would eat a whole box of
What
tag-alongs.
is this again?
Because the peanut butter milk stout.
Peanut butter milk stout. Okay.
Yeah, so there was a time that I really wanted to try this, and I couldn't because they sold out of it. Like this beer slaps. And two,
they package it.
They package it now.
Yeah, now they do.
But like I missed it one time, and it might have even been before we had kids. Or like I managed to get a pint.
I want to go where that guy's going. He has a keg. It's a little keg, mind you.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it's keg of.
It's a 6.
It's a 6-stall.
6-stall, yeah.
That's the same size as our kegs. For when we homebrew again. We're going to homebrew again. We got to get out to Listerman at some point. I say next weekend, but next weekend is St. Patrick's Day, and no. Because we'll have the kids with us.
Yeah. I don't know what we want to brew.
Probably a Heffa. Our Heffa usually goes over really well. Your dad will drink half of it.
Yeah, the whole point of homebrewing, in my opinion, is sharing it. And that was lost during COVID.
Yeah.
Because we brewed during COVID.
And we have the social distancing milk stout that I think we still have some of that left.
Some of it left, yeah. I'm empty.
Okay, you can go get another beer. I talked too much, so I didn't drink enough beer.
So when I went to refill the mug, the bartender didn't even need my last name.
Is it the same girl? Or is it the other girl?
She helped you.
Yeah.
She said she recognized the mug.
I mean, it's probably a low number from what they're used to pouring.
But it has thinned out a little bit.
It has thinned out a lot here. At least 2 or 3 of the parties have ended.
Yeah. So now probably would have been a good time to come, but
yeah. It's always a good time to be here.
Yeah. I mean, thank you. Shout out to my sister for watching the kids. Hopefully they are napping. I haven't heard anything. No 911s. Oh, there's a ring, though.
She just let the dogs out.
Okay. Well, hopefully there's someone is sleeping.
Yeah.
So I got a refill.
Oh, the Gill?
Oh, the Gill, yeah. The Gill is a very seasonal beer. I have a feeling that there probably won't be much left after St. Patrick's Day.
I highly doubt it.
Just because St. Patrick's Day is on a Friday this year, and people aren't going to be partying Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
So, if you do see it out and about in packaging, get it while you can. Because I don't think they're brewing any more this year. I would be surprised if they're brewing any more this year. I think they're already looking forward to, summer.
I mean, that's the thing. As you're brewing, you have to think of, 3+ weeks in advance. Mm-hmm. And what's on the schedule.
Yeah, like
holidays.
Spring, summer, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what else did you want to talk about? You have feelings about false spring.
Yeah, false spring and how it sucks ass.
Yeah.
Real bad. Because, I have to explain to my child that, yeah, I know you went outside in sandals 3 days ago, but no, today you have to put on your winter coat and long pants because, no, it's cold as hell outside.
So to clarify, this past week, it was like, what? Did it reach 70?
Oh, it totally reached 70.
Yeah. Sunny, 70. Pretty much spring weather in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And then today, it snowed.
It did. Now, it didn't stick here, but I saw a picture of Liberty, Indiana, where they said they had an inch that stuck. Now, whether or not that inch is still there, I don't know, but there was definite snow on the ground. Like, there was snow on my car this morning and snow on your car this morning, but, like, enough for the windshield wipers to wipe off and move on with your life.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't anything too major. But, yeah, I mean, it's very frustrating. And, like, we live in the Ohio River Valley. Like, I know what our seasons are now. It's winter, fall, spring. Oh, hey, look, winter's back. Maybe actual spring, maybe not. We'll see. Mud season. Oh, hey, look, some pretty flowers while I'm covered in mud. Construction. Summer. Or actual spring. Summer. Oh, man, it's way too hot to do anything outside.
Construction is a season.
Construction is totally a season.
Okay.
It's when all the construction cones start popping up. Because the weather gets decent enough where they can start doing all of the outdoor work.
Maybe they'll finish 75.
So, okay, they started working on 75 for their Let's Add One Lane project. It's one lane in both directions, but it's still just one lane. My last year at UC, which is almost 10 years ago now.
Uh-huh.
And they're still working on that project.
It has been 10 years for me.
Yeah, because we're old. I had this epiphany with co-op today, or with co-op this week. Well, one of them told me a dad joke. Did you hear about the kidnapping at school?
No.
He woke up. And then they expected me to laugh. And I was like, I've heard this one before, but go ahead and tell it. And they're like, oh, he woke up. And I'm like, yeah, I have a husband who is also a father. Like, dad jokes are what I am constantly surrounded by.
Yes.
Like, oh, and then I made a joke this morning, and you were like, oh, that's a dad joke. And I was like, well, technically it was a faux pas because I'm a mom. And then I was like staring intently at my computer trying to figure something out. And a different co-op came up and was like, you know, if you add one to that, it'll make two. And that's the answer to that problem that you're solving. And I'm like, giving him like a, are you serious right now look? And he's like, yeah, I mean, I'm a co-op. With all of my years of engineering experience, like, I'm so glad that I can contribute to this. And I was like, yeah, you're one maybe year of engineering experience because this is his first co-op. And I'm like, you know what? I was like, you know what? That I just thought about? I graduated college like 10 years ago. And I'm getting closer to the point where I will have more engineering experience than the co-ops have been alive. And they're still going to pull stupid shit like this. And he's like, yep, the co-ops are always going to pull stupid shit like this. This is what we do.
Well, I just want to say shout out to the family over there who has the Great Dane puppy.
It is a very puppy. Like, the Great Dane puppy is like slightly smaller than our dogs, which means that it is very, very puppy.
It's 10 weeks old.
Oh my goodness.
It's
yeah,
a he.
That tracks. Yeah.
Super chill.
I mean, he's a 10-week-old puppy. They're usually pretty chill because they're like, I don't know what anything is. It's when they get to like 16 weeks that they just turn into completely monsters because they know everything at that point. They're three majors.
I don't know, man. Zoe was not chill. Nothing about Zoe was chill. At any age. But there's this puppy, 10 weeks old. The paws. Oh my God. Look at the. Did you see the paws? The paw size?
They're massive because your feet grow before you grow.
Oh, yeah.
Which is why our daughter is in the same shoe size as most 5-year-olds.
Yep.
So I am getting ready to drink. I need to look this up because I'm not exactly sure what it is.
Yeah, you have one more beer on your plate.
Okay. I am not going to be able to pronounce this. I'm assuming it's a county in Ohio. No, it's in Michigan. Okay. That's just as bad. It's Imperial Stout Leelanau County Cherry. Leelanau.
You got the 11%er.
It's a 4-ounce pour. So Leelanau County, Michigan, grows some of the finest, juiciest cherries on the planet. They added a delicious sweetness and subtle acid note to our Imperial Stout with its roasty, chocolatey malt notes. Oh, that's real good.
How stout is this stout?
It's a little stout. I get a lot of cherry, and I can taste the alcohol on this one. But it is also a triple-digit beer because it's 11%. 11.2% according to Untapped. This is so good.
Wow.
Can we take it home? It's probably going to be really expensive, but can we take it home?
Bourbon barrel, this one.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Yes,
I wonder if they did. They have barrels over there.
They do, so I don't know. We shall see.
I don't know. Does the barrel actually add any ABV to it, or?
One of the children helped. Looks like Elliot helped Jenna bring the dogs out. So.
Lily was the one that fell?
I think so.
Oh, I got another ring notification.
Wrong. Nope, Lily's outside too, so I don't know. Maybe nobody napped.
Wait, she's out. Oh my God, she's running by herself. I see a Lily by herself. Okay, I see a Jenna.
Maybe they're gonna go on a walk. They're on a walk.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
And what does she have in her hand?
Maybe a doll. I don't know.
Well, Elliot fell.
That tracks. He's 2. He knows everything now.
Oh, now he's getting carried. Okay, and then they just walked off the screen.
We should text your sister and ask her if she wants us to pick up the thing from your... We should just pick up the thing from your brother's house because we're right by your brother's house. I will text your brother and Becky. I'll just text the group chat. It's all good.
All right. So let us put a bow on this episode. I don't know how long it's going to be, but let's put a bow on it. So if this will be released on Thursday, so the day before St. Patrick's Day. If you are looking to celebrate St. Patrick's Day,
West Side has delicious beers, but
They
I
do.
don't know how much longer they'll be here.
no, that they are saving beer for St. Patrick's Day, so that'll be Friday.
But I still don't know how fast they'll sell out. They might be sold by 3. Remember that year we started drinking at like 10 a.m.?
We took a break in the middle, though.
We did. There was a break in the middle.
Yeah, we took a break in the middle. Some people don't do that though.
No. Find an Irish band. Follow them around on St. Patrick's Day. Highly recommend Fintan.
Yeah. Maybe I'll add some Fintan to this production. We'll see how creative I get.
Have some more beers and you'll be super creative. Oh my goodness, this Imperial Stout is so yummy with the cherries.
It's a sipper though.
I have not been sipping this as much as I sipped the peanut butter stout though.
Yeah, so you can definitely tell. So I had the blonde stout, I had the dry stout, I had the Gilligan stout. I had pretty much had all their the milk stout.
We did have most of their stuff.
I think we had all the stouts.
We have not had their milk stout today, but I'm like 95% sure we have had their milk stout before.
But all of their stouts, you could not taste alcohol. They were clean. They were crisp. Not crisp, but they were dark, roasty, light, but light. They kind of had the Guinness feel to it.
They did.
Even the Gilligan's Extra Stout, which...
Hey, if Shift Beers doesn't put out a podcast, Truth Beer and Consequences needs something to burp count.
There you go. I put a pin on that. Gilligan's Extra Stout. It was...
It does not taste extra. It will sneak up on you.
It
And
does.
as long as you're not driving, I am so here for it.
And I think they have it in packaging over there. If I get anything, I think I'll get that first, or maybe the Gill. I don't know. For actual St. Patrick's Day, since we're not going out.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm gonna look at the beer fridge and make a decision. But man, that was a good beer though. It may sneak up.
You know why it was a good beer?
West Side Brewing. Yeah, there you go. Shout out to Colin, for sure.
Colin is awesome, and I want to be friends with him.
Yeah. Maybe he'll come on our podcast. Colin, come on the podcast.
I don't know where Colin the Panda Bear is, but Colin the Panda Bear should meet Colin the Brewer.
All right.
On that note, Joe is like, let us end the podcast.
Well, no, I said I put a pin on it, but Shift Beers.
Yeah.
Has someone done a well check on Shift Beers?
Yes, because Marco said he had seen both Chris and Josh since the Chris and Josh only show.
Yeah, that's what I was asking because
Marco has seen them since then because that show was
interesting.
Yeah, I was going to say interesting as well, but it took me a little while to settle on that word. I didn't know that podcasts could have a bonus track, but they can, and you can totally bop to it in the bathroom.
What?
No, because you were listening to it. You were listening to the podcast while you were like getting ready in the morning, and then I just wandered in. I'm like, oh, sweet, you're listening to that Shift Beers episode finally. And then it was Chris and Josh singing along to Nickelback, yeah. And so I just start bopping in the bathroom, and you're like, what the what? And I'm like, well, we actually have a bathroom that's big enough now that I can do this, but this is what this episode requires, is you just totally bopping out to it.
Yeah. There was a lot of karaoke on that episode.
There was.
There was also some Pokemon talk, which I am here for.
Totally.
Yeah, because Pokemon was my childhood.
Yeah. And I mean, so I don't know whether or not you're going to cut this out of the other episode that we recorded, but are we on track for recording more beer-related episodes this year than Shift Beers? Shift Beers, I love you guys. Come back. Do we need to be on your show? We can be on your show. We should be on your show again. We did a year ago. I will not spoil it, but we are in the top 3 of longest Shift Beers episodes ever. I won't say what's number 1 because Truth Beer and Consequences has it as a trivia question. But we are one of the 3 longest episodes of Shift Beers.
Anyway.
I finished my Imperial Stout. West Side, Best Side.
This was the first time we've been this year.
It is the first time we have been this calendar year, which makes me real sad.
It does.
But
we moved.
It's so yummy. Come out here. Get this beer in your belly. You will not regret it. Or don't,
so we can drink it.
Or ship their beer to us at our house.
Yeah.
Or our P.O. box, which our P.O. box is way closer to West Side than it is to our house now.
It is. Which I don't know if we'll renew.
We probably won't.
So we probably shouldn't talk about the P.O. box.
Yeah. Okay, time to go home.
All right, so that does it for this week's show. Thanks so much for listening. Follow us on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And like I mentioned earlier, you're distracting me.
My bad. I'm sending gifts to the family group chat.
Like I mentioned earlier, we are on YouTube, and I did a video allegedly about cocaine bears.
Totally about cocaine bears.
And I did a second video, like a sequel, I guess. And now I'm getting distracted.
So we're at Craft Parenting Podcast. You can also get us a hold of us via email, which is craftparentingpodcast@gmail.com. If you like what you hear, please leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or your podcatcher of choice. And share the show. It's what helps our show grow. If you don't like this show, listen to like 10 more and then make up your mind as far as whether or not you like the show. If you have any complaints, you can send those to @RagingHop on Twitter. All this information is available on our website, which is craftparentingpodcast.com. That's where we post the show notes. Maybe we'll start writing blog posts again. I don't know. I keep saying that I'm going to, and then I don't because I fall asleep. He's at Craft Parenting Joe on Instagram. I am at Caroline Creates Crafts.
There you go. And I'm Joe.
And I'm Caroline.
Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
On the Craft Parenting Podcast.
Peace. I see Jenna and there are shadows behind her that are children.
Hey.
What's she saying? I don't know if you can hear her.
When are you coming home?